Hey, it's AU5. The square 4 bass has become a popular sound in a lot of riddim, known for its distinctive yoink character, like this. It originated from a wavetable called square 4, found in a synth in Reason called Malstrom. But we don't need to use Reason or Malstrom to create this sound. In fact, we can use any synth that can make a square wave, because I'm going to show you how to make this as a filter that you can apply to any sound. Turning a square wave into the square 4 bass is simple in concept. Use a positive comb filter in series with a negative comb filter at half the frequency. This creates the characteristic harmonic spacing you hear in the square 4 wavetable. So, to make this dual comb filter rack, we'll have to use a delay effect that has a relatively linear scaling, which allows one delay to be half the value of the other. Ableton's stock delay has an exponential scaling and also introduces a minimum latency of 1 millisecond, so it's not ideal. However, Ableton's legacy chorus has a delay that has a nearly linear scaling and a minimum latency of 1/100th of a millisecond, which is ideal for creating the comb filters necessary for this effect. So currently I'm starting off with just a square wave. And that's just made with operator. To access Ableton's legacy chorus, we have to go to Packs, Core Library, Devices, Audio Effects, scroll down to the folder Legacy, and you'll see Chorus. So I'm going to put the chorus right here. By default, it sounds like this, so we'll have to do a couple things. I'm going to set the high pass down, set the delay 2 to off. The delay 1 is what we're going to use. And I'm going to set the amount to 0 and the dry wet to 100. So to create a comb filter effect with this, I'm going to create an effect rack and then duplicate this chorus down into a new chain. I'm going to keep this delay static at 0.01 milliseconds. I'm going to map the other delay to macro 1. I'm also going to turn these down by -6 dB because they add up. And now I have a macro that is going to create the comb filter effect. So that's for the positive comb filter. Now we need to duplicate this out and make a negative comb filter. And that's pretty simple. All we need to do is use the utility and put it after the chorus and invert the polarity of the input for one of the chains. And then I'm going to map the max milliseconds to 10. Now if I group both of these effect racks and map both of these macros to the same macro 1, now we have the effect. I can then apply automation to taste, and we're already starting to get that sound. Now to take this a step further, we can duplicate out both of these racks in series and stack them. So now we have a more pronounced effect. I can draw whatever shapes that I like. So to take this a step further with some post-processing, I like to use echo. I'm going to set the delay times to maybe a 16th note. I'm going to increase the reverb a little bit and the decay down. I'm going to set the low pass to around 4K and the high pass to around 400. To make this even more stereo, I'm going to offset the left and right channels by a little bit. I'm going to put the echo inside of this effect rack. I'm going to create a sub crossover. I'm going to just use EQ8. Use a 4x low pass at 100 Hertz for the dry chain. And then for the affected chain, I'm just going to flip that to high pass. So now the sub comes through. I'm also going to use a multiband compressor. And that's pretty much it. Now I can do this for any sound. This doesn't have to be a square wave. I can use a saw wave. That's something new. I could also use this on audio. Here's how it sounds dry. And with the square 4 filter, I could also use a shaper to modulate the macro. Here's another example. I have this random bass jam. It's got a whole bunch of already wonky sounds in it, but if I add the square 4 filter with the shaper driving it, and I recorded a bunch of these one-shots. If you like this rack, you can find a free download of it in the description. And if you really want to up your sound design game, check out my School of Bass masterclass. It's got over a couple dozen hours of content that's just like this tutorial, and I'm constantly updating it. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now go yoink it up in your next track.